Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody who's in the room early. If you guys can hear me okay, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me, the sound is dim or distorted or the visual is looking bad, give me a thumbs down or an angry face. I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early, all right? We got Carlton Way in the house. We got Volvo to Love in the building. We got Simo 27. we got John Guillory, and we got William Arant. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, wherever you watch it from, please make sure that you share the stream to the social media or share the stream across the platform that you're on. Apparently, there has been a national security threat alert from the United States Intel share, and it's related to what? Who knows what it's related to? We're going to find out. All right. Also, in other news, I don't know if anybody heard about this, but apparently there's been some information that came out about the quote unquote Obama era CIA. They were into some interesting things. Probably stuff that people kind of assumed already, but it looks like there's been an interesting forced validation of these things. All right. So I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as I can because I did want to get another stream out of the way before I get out of here. And then this happened to come up. So let's check this out real quick. First, we order of business video clip here from News Nation.
We are following a developing story on the national security front. Speaking at the White House briefing just moments ago, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan saying he plans to brief congressional leaders on a, quote, serious national security threat, but he would not elaborate. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
All right, so now here's my question. What I want to know from everybody watching this is, what do you think the national security threat is? Do you think that it's an actual national security threat, or do you think that it's kind of just one of those quote-unquote things? And what do you think that this is in relation to, or what do you think that they might be trying to take your attention away from so that you're focused on this and not necessarily focused on some developing events or some events that have already taken place? If you're watching on the replay, let me know in the comment section. If you're watching right now, let me know in the live chat.
Is following this. He's live on Capitol Hill. Joe, what more are we learning?
Well, Nicole, I do want to stress this is a breaking and developing situation, so we're just getting information and presenting it to you as it's coming into us. What we can tell you is Mike Turner, the chairman of the Intelligence Committee here in the House, has asked President Biden to declassify information on what he is calling a serious national security threat. And what Mike Turner says is he wants the president to declassify that so that he can share more information with members of Congress and with our allies. Now, we don't know exactly where that threat is coming from. We don't know the nature of it. This is the statement here on your screen that Mike Turner sent.
So now let me ask you guys a question. When it comes to this particular type of situation, what would make the public more scared, more fearful? Putting out a notice like this, there's something imminent that's happening, but we don't know if it's anything happening. Or if they just made an announcement once they have all the details together. Think about that. I want y'all to seriously think about it. What's the better strategy, to put this out? Oh, we don't know what the hell's going on right now. Or we give a nice organized explanation of what's going on when we have more details. Which one do you all think is the better option? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to DSB for the $1.99 super chat. I definitely appreciate it. Doubling down on the $1.99 super chat. Make sure y'all double down on the love that you show him. Throw some radiation emojis, some flames, and some ducks in the chat for DSB holding it down as the first stream sponsor. Make sure y'all show him some love.
Out. Today, the House Permanent Select Committee has made available to all members of Congress information concerning a serious national security threat. Now, what I have been told from some...
Shout out to TD Hip Hop Media over there on X. If you're not following on X, make sure you guys go and check out at Base Reality 2 on X. Go make sure you guys check that out, because live streams that go on members only because of the censorship on YouTube stay up on X. And, you know, if you're that cheap that you can't afford 99 cents for a membership, you can watch them on Twitter for free. You know what I'm saying? Save yourself some money. Save me some income and save yourself some money. I guess you're doing us both a favor. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to TD Hip Hop Media. TD says, you got to love fear-mongering. Listen, that fear-mongering grift is real. The news has been doing it for a long time. It's time for us to get some of our ducats on the fear-mongering grift. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, it's time for us to collect our ducats on the fear-mongering grift. Give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down. The media has had a monopoly on the fear-mongering grift for too long. Now any common person can do it by just using my referral link for StreamYards and starting your own fear-monger grift. You know what I'm saying? Breaking news. Breaking news.
some members of Congress here is that he has opened up what is known as a SCIF. That is a room that is secured. No cell phones are allowed inside. And members of Congress, as I'm talking to you.
Facts. Shout out to Carlton Way. Got to give it to Carlton Way. Black people getting on code is a national threat to them. Oh, that's facts. That's facts. That's big facts. You know what I'm saying? That's big facts. Shout out to TD Hip Hop Media. TD said all the cheap, broke people like me are watching on Twitter. Hey, that's facts. If you're broke and you're cheap, make sure that you go over there and say hi to TD Hip Hop Media at Base Reality 2 on Twitter. All right.
You now in small groups or individually are going into those SCIFs and they are being made available the information at least that we have. Is it all of the information about this threat? We don't know because, again, Mike Turner is asking President Biden to declassify more so that more information can be shared with members of Congress. So we're slowly getting some information. Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor, was asked about this moments ago at the White House, and here's what he said about this situation.
I reached out earlier this week to the Gang of Eight to offer myself up for a personal briefing to the Gang of Eight. And in fact,
So first and foremost, question for everybody in the comment section, who or what is the Gang of Eight? Second of all, did you notice how he happened to say he offered himself up for this earlier in the week, which means that this has been going on for a while. And for whatever reason, right now is the time that we got to get everybody all scared about it. What exactly do you all think that this could possibly be related to? And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys watching. We got 42 people watching on YouTube. Shout out to you guys. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, please take a moment, smash that like button. If you guys have not, hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you take a moment, hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. And also, wherever you're watching from, if you have not shared the stream, please take a moment and share the stream. That's a great question. Shout out to William Arant. Oh, I'm sorry, William Arant. I apologize. William Arant says, who is the Gang of Eight? That's a great question. Who's got the answer for that question? Somebody throw the answer to that question in the live chat.
scheduled a briefing for the 4 House members of the Gang of Eight tomorrow. That's been on the books. So I am a bit surprised that Congressman Turner came out publicly today in advance of a meeting on the books for me to go sit with him alongside our intelligence and defense professionals tomorrow. That's his choice to do that. All I can tell you is that I'm focused on going to see him, sit with him, as well as the other House members of the Gang of Eight tomorrow.
So for those at home here, the Gang of Eight, what he's referencing is just a small group here in Congress. You've got the leaders from both parties in the House and the Senate, and also the top intelligence members in the House and the Senate from both sides of the aisle. That is the small group that he says, Jake Sullivan, that he'd already pre-scheduled meetings with for tomorrow relating to this issue. So again, as we're learning more, we don't know the...
So now here's the question. What changed to make it where it needs to be discussed today, and that currently, right now, it's become a national security issue if he already had a appointment to meet up about it tomorrow? What's changed? What's occurred that's caused this to be a national security issue with urgency right now, where this has to all be discussed and put out into the mainstream media right now? What do you guys think?
Full nature of the threat. I also just moments ago spoke with James Comer, who's the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, about this and about the process to actually get more information. He tells me he has not yet been in that SCIF to learn what this situation is, but here's what he did tell us.
But the fact that Mike Turner wants to declassify it would tell me that everybody's going to find out about this sooner or later, or we need to be prepared for it. Okay. So either way, I support what Mike Turner's wanting to do.
So just moments after that, I followed up with, on that second scenario, or we have to be prepared. I said that could be concerning. And he just sort of said, yes, that would be, concerning situation. We don't want to be alarmist about this because we don't know, again, the nature of this national security threat. We've heard from some members who've said it's serious, but didn't go beyond that. And I'll just leave you with this, Nicole. Jake Sullivan, just moments after the question we just played, got a question from a reporter asking whether the American people can at least be put to rest, that this is not something they need to be worried about right now. And his response to that question was that is simply an impossible question to answer. So obviously, you've got a lot of concerns here about what this national security situation is. We're going to continue to dig and try to find out anything that we can, as members of Congress here in real time, are also learning about the situation, Nicole.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lots of Americans certainly want answers. Joe, thank you. Thank you.
All right, so there's that. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to watch this news clip from MSNBC. MSNBC says the White House addresses the Intel chair's warning of a national security threat. Now, I want to make sure that people hear me very clearly. This is not me declaring that anything happened, Okay. However, shout out to my man KO Kid Fit. I don't know if KO Kid Fit is in here, but I don't know if anybody had any issues this morning, but because of my format and how I do my content, I access Facebook for a lot of my bookmarking, right? Very early this morning, right? I would say maybe like about an hour or two before I did my stream, which would probably be like 7:30. I wasn't able to access Facebook from my computer, from Firefox, from Internet Explorer, and from Chrome. This morning, I wasn't able to access Facebook. Now, I was able to access it from Safari, but I wasn't able to access it from Internet Explorer, Chrome, or Firefox. It was a very short time, and I don't think it might have happened so fast that people didn't even notice it. But I'm curious when they release this, if this has something to do with a cybersecurity threat. And the reason why I say that is because also it's the Intel chair who alerted them to this situation. Did anybody else experience that this morning? If you're watching on the replay, timestamp right here and say if you experienced that this morning. Anybody in the live chat, if you guys experienced it, let me know. And also, again, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys being here. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please help the channel by smashing the like button. Also, if you haven't hit the bell and subscribe to the channel, please take a moment, hit the bell and subscribe to the channel. And also, please share this stream to your social media. Shout out to DeAndre for being a like enforcer. Please show him some love with some like enforcers in the chat.
Shortly before you came out, Congressman Mike Turner issued a statement saying that President Biden should declassify intelligence related to a, quote, serious national security threat. What can you say about the threat and what the administration plans to do?
So first, I reached out earlier this week to the Gang of Eight to offer myself up for a personal briefing to the Gang of Eight. And in fact, we scheduled a briefing for the 4 House members of the Gang of Eight tomorrow. That's been on the books. So I am a bit surprised that Congressman Turner came books for me to go sit with him alongside our intelligence and defense professionals tomorrow. That's his choice to do that. All I can tell you is that I'm focused on going to see him, sit with him, as well as the other House members of the Gang of Eight tomorrow. And I'm not in a position to say anything further from this podium at this time, other than to make the broad point that this administration has gone further and in more creative, more strategic ways dealt with the declassification of intelligence in the national interest of the United States than any administration in history. So you definitely are not going to find an unwillingness to do that when it's in our national security interest to do so. At the same time, we, of course, have to continue to prioritize and focus very much on the issue of sources and methods. We'll do that. Ultimately, these are decisions for the president to make. But in the meantime, the most important thing is we have the opportunity to sit in a classified setting and have the kind of conversation with the House intelligence leadership that I, in fact, had scheduled before Congressman Turner went out today. Yeah.
But just to be clear, Turner calls this an urgent matter with regard to destabilizing foreign military capability. Are you aware that there is an emerging serious threat here that he's referring to?
Again, I'll just say that I personally reached out to the Gang of Eight.
Here's the question. If they don't know anything or they don't plan on telling anybody anything, why do they even have these to put this out here? We don't know anything. Well, is there anything that you can tell us? We can't tell you anything. We can't tell you anything because for 2 reasons, because we can't tell you anything and because we don't know anything. They have a whole press conference for literally every single answer of any question that they ask in a press conference to be, we can't tell you and that we don't know anything. Have you guys ever noticed that? If you guys have noticed that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have not noticed that, give me a thumbs down. Why do they even have press conferences if this is all that they can do? Again, what is the point of even letting anybody, like, what is the point of all of this if we're not going to get any information about it? We just got to sit here and stare at this with these people freaking out about nothing or about everything. We don't know because the answer could be anything because nobody knows anything. What's the point of this? You know what I'm saying? Where do you all think that this is possibly coming from? What do you all think that this is possibly coming from?
Really unusual, in fact, for the National Security Advisor to do that. I did that to set up a meeting. The Senate's not here. The 4 House members have agreed to that meeting. This is well before Congressman Turner came out today. We'll have that conversation tomorrow. I'm not going to say anything further.
All right, so there's that. All right. So now let's check out that we got a couple articles here. We're gonna look at this. All right. Now, I'm not gonna be able to do any updates about this throughout the night. You guys know that. You know what I'm saying? I only stream for the most part during the day, except for when I stream really late at night. However, I'll be posting stuff on my community wall as it comes. And you know, if anything comes out and they finally let anybody know anything, I'll talk about it in the morning. Shout out to Carlton Way. Carlton Way said maybe we're under an alien invasion. I know the undocumented bros. They coming in flying saucers now. They got flying sombreros on their head. You know what I'm saying? Sombreros. Sombreros and sombreros. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says House Intel Chair calls on Biden to declassify details on serious national security threat. It's so serious that literally nobody knows anything and can't tell anybody anything. Your boy Jake Sullivan, we just listened to what he had to say. House Intelligence Chair Mike Turner, who's a Republican from Ohio, made a cryptic call for President Biden to declassify information about a serious national security threat to allow for public discussions about how the U.S. should respond. The ranking member on the panel, Representative Jim Himes, who is a Democrat from Connecticut, however, cautioned that the matter was not one of great urgency and that people should not panic. So that's what this individual here says. Okay. Today, the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence has made available to all members of Congress information concerning a serious national security threat, Turner said in a statement. I'm requesting that President Biden declassify all information related to this threat so that Congress, the administration, and our allies can openly discuss the actions necessary to respond to this threat. Okay. Late Tuesday, Turner sent a quote-unquote dear colleague letter noting the committee voted to make information about an urgent matter with regard to destabilizing foreign military capability that should be known by all congressional policymakers. Okay. So I'm going to read that part again. Late Tuesday, Turner sent a dear colleague letter noting the committee voted to make information about an urgent matter with regards to a destabilizing foreign military capability that should be known by all congressional policymakers. So somebody that we must not be too politically friendly with must have figured out some type of weaponry or some type of technique to be able to cause significant disruption to our military. That would be my guess from this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Deneen. She said it's to take the focus off of Biden's dementia. I think Biden might have forgot to send these emails that he was supposed to send, and that could possibly be why we got all this going right now. He probably fell asleep and his face hit the keyboard, and they sent emails all over the place. Putin got some of the emails. You know what I'm saying? Kim Jong-un got one of the emails. Somebody had to go in there and wake him up. When they have to wake you up with a defibrillator, it's not the best situation. Would you guys agree? When they got to wake you up with a defibrillator, it's not really the optimal situation for being a president. They got senators that they also had to wake up with defibrillators. Not good. You shouldn't have to have a defibrillator connected to your Apple Watch. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that you stay awake, quote unquote. So that you don't drift off into the shadow realm during important meetings. You know what I'm saying? Lawmakers are invited to the committee's sensitive compartmented information facility space to review the information over the rest of the week, according to the letter obtained by The Hill. CNN reported Wednesday that the intelligence in question relates to Russia. Politico reported on Tuesday that is related to space. So Putin must have called some aliens or something, and they working together, which is interesting because if you go back and look at the old videos that's been wiped from YouTube from like 2010, You know what I'm saying? If you go back and look at the conspiracy theory sector of YouTube from back in the day, all those channels that used to have like 100-some thousand subscribers, and now when they post a video, they only get 100 views on a video because of shadow banning. If you look at some of those old videos when YouTube was lit, you know what I'm saying? If you know, then you know. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm talking about, give me a thumbs up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, give me a thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? Himes held back criticism of Turner, but said, "Thanks, Mike," when a reporter noted the panic being caused by the statement. Look, Mike is right to highlight this issue, but it's so sensitive. You know what I'm saying? That we're right now not publicly discussing it. And I don't want people thinking that, Martians are landing or that your Wednesday is going to be ruined. Yet, Politico reported on Tuesday that it's related to space. But it's something that Congress, the administration, does need to address in the medium to long run, Himes said. During a White House briefing Wednesday, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said he was surprised Turner sought to go public with the information while the White House was organizing a briefing. I reached out earlier this week to the Gang of 8 to offer myself up for a personal briefing for the Gang of 8 and rescheduled a briefing for the 4 House members for tomorrow, Sullivan said. All I can tell you is I'm focused on going to see him, sit with him, as well as the other members of the House and the Gang of 8, he added. This administration has gone further and in more creative, more strategic ways dealt with the declassification of intelligence in the interest of the United States than any administration in history. Did I like having them stored in the garage by the Corvette we talking about, or what? Shout out to Carlton Way. Carlton Way said the Galactic Bros about to put in work. I don't want to be around for that work, bro. I don't want to be here for that work. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to be here when the Galactic Bros start putting in work, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, I'm good on that, man. I'm tapping out. I need off this planet at that point. Goodbye. You know what I'm saying? House Speaker Mike Johnson said there was no need for alarm. So there's literally not been one person or one entity who has said the same thing about this particular event. You guys notice that? No one's account of this is the same. No one's account of this is the same. It seems like nobody is on the same page when it comes to this. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 61 people watching on YouTube, and we got 49 likes. If everybody could take a moment, smash that like button, and get us to 100, that'd be great. I saw Chairman Turner's statement on the issue, and I want to assure the American people there is no need for public alarm, he told reporters in the Capitol on Wednesday. We are going to work together to address this matter as we do all sensitive matters that are classified. Representative Jason Crow, an Intel member, echoed that sentiment. All right. There's a lot of very volatile things that we have to address. This is one of them. This is something that requires our attention. There's no doubt, Crow said. It's not an immediate crisis, but something we have to be very serious about. So now here's my question. It's apparently with this thing, it's somewhere between catastrophic and nothing. Where on that scale is it? It's in between catastrophic and not being a factor. We just don't know what part of the scale it's on. Senate intelligence officials also downplayed the immediacy, saying they had been rigorously tracking this issue from the start. Now, How do they not have any information to say about it if they've been tracking it? This is my question, you guys. I want y'all to think about this. They've been tracking this. There's been plenty of references that we've talked about already where they're talking about things that occurred earlier in the week or meetings that they had set up prior. So they've been tracking it. They know what it is to the point to where they set up pre-arranged discussions about it. But yet when it comes time to talk about it, they don't have any information that they can even provide a minor summary to the public with so that we can make our own judgment about what we think is going on here. Let me ask you guys a question. How many people are okay with how this is being dealt with? If you're okay with how this is being dealt with, give me a thumbs up. If you're not okay with how this is being dealt with, give me a thumbs down and let me know what you think the appropriate way to deal with this would be. Okay. So now here says the Senate Intelligence Committee has the intelligence in question and has been rigorously tracking the issue from the start. Chair Mark Warner and ranking member Marco Rubio said in a joint statement. We continue to take this matter seriously and are discussing an appropriate response with the administration, they wrote. In the meantime, we must be cautious about potentially disclosing sources and methods that may be key to preserving a range of options for U.S. action. So when they say U.S. action, clearly they feel that they're going to clearly they plan on doing something. They plan on doing some type of response, right? So we have to read through this stuff and piece it together. All right. So now, according to CNN here, House Intel chairman announces a serious national security threat, and sources who I guarantee you are anonymous, who they're not going to give their name up, say that it's related to Russia. So what kind of national security threat is related to Russia that we have going on? You know what I'm saying? What's Russia doing? Is that interview with Tucker Carlson a national security threat? Is that it? Is that what we got? Is the national security threat the Tucker Carlson interview? What do you guys think? Somebody let me know something. House Intel chairman announces serious national security threat. Sources say it's related to Russia. How so? And who are these sources? We got a bunch of people that don't want to talk and a bunch of people that are talking. But the people that are talking, we can't attach what they say to anybody's name. Somebody make it make sense. House Intelligence Committee Chair Mike Turner has made information concerning a serious national security threat available to all members of Congress to review, the committee said on Wednesday. While Turner and the White House remained vague on what the threat entailed, two sources and a U.S. official who they don't name here, this is somehow reliable news, but they're not attaching anybody's name to any of this, tell CNN that it's related to Russia. Multiple sources familiar with intelligence characterized it as very sensitive. Shout out to Kid Gravity. What's good with it, bro? I probably am, because I got some immigration stuff that I want to talk about. I'm not sure though. It depends on if I'm able to wake up or not. I might be knocked out. Depends on how if the caffeine is actually working in the coffee tomorrow. It hasn't been. It hasn't been. I gotta reset my system. So now here says one of the sources who has seen the intelligence confirmed that it is in fact a highly concerning and destabilizing Russian capability that we were recently made aware of. Now here's the thing, right? We know that Russia has some pretty innovative military weapons that could cause some damage to our infrastructure and breach our military, right? Let me ask you guys this question. Of any foreign military threats, can you guys name military threats from Russia or Russia-associated countries or allies that could be potentially harmful for the United States? Our infrastructure not being updated is a national security threat. Literally, all this stuff that they talking about right here was all in those what they don't want you to know videos that used to come out on YouTube like back in 2000 that they wiped. And all those channels, you know what I'm saying, got deleted. Have you guys noticed that all the new breaking news reports are all related to something that those videos from back in the day, from back in the this is what they don't want you to know thumbnail YouTube era? All the news reports are all videos talking about that stuff as real news now. Do y'all notice that? If y'all notice that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't notice that, give me a thumbs down. I know y'all got to notice it. I know y'all got to notice it. You know what I'm saying? But while a vague statement posted on X, so we're going to check out this statement that was posted on X by the House Intelligence Committee, along with the void of immediate further information, raised initial concerns. Other top leaders in Congress sought to soothe public anxiety. House Speaker Mike Johnson said Wednesday afternoon that there was no cause for alarm. Okay. We just want to assure everyone steady hands are at the wheel, Johnson said. We're working on it and there's no need for alarm. Okay. Representative Jim Himes, the top Democrat on the House committee, said the intelligence is not a cause for panic. So what I want you guys to pay close attention to is that it's so not a cause for panic that all of this is going on and they can't attach any claims to anybody's names. Anthony Forrest brings up a good point. Anthony Forrest said this is likely a trick to try to get more money to Ukraine. Them Dems just don't stop. That's definitely a possibility. If you guys think that what Anthony Forrest said is a possibility, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't think that he is, give me a thumbs down. Representative Jim Himes, the top Democrat on the House committee, said the intelligence is not a cause for panic. They got everybody panicking, and nobody knows anything yet. As to whether more can be declassified about the issue, and if it was so not important, then why is it classified? Anybody got the answer for that? If it's so not important, why is it not classified? Or why is it classified if it's so not important? Do you guys keep things that are so sensitive not secrets? Or like, do you just talk about them publicly? Most people keep things that are sensitive, secret, and private, and discuss publicly things that are for consumption of everybody, right? This issue is so casual that is declassified. That is classified. Yeah, I mean, the committee's Senate counterparts, meanwhile, said they have been rigorously tracking this issue from the start. So now here's my question. When did it start? When did this issue start? Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre says the timing is impeccable. Yeah, I need you guys to tell me in the comment section all of the coincidences with the timing of this particular event and why you think that this particular event might be taking place right now at this particular time. Because timing is always everything, right? Timing is always everything. In the meantime, we must be cautious about potentially disclosing sources and methods that may be key to preserving a range of options for U.S. action. So what do they mean right here? When they start talking like this, what do they mean? Because this sounds like the exact kind of talk that was used when it came to those Houthi attacks on U.S. warships in the Red Sea. anytime they say we need to keep a range of options, doesn't that usually lead to some type of quote unquote military retaliation? Isn't that what that usually leads to? Isn't that what that talk usually centers around? The sentiment from the Senate Intelligence Committee Chairman Mark Warner and Vice Chairman Marco Rubio said the White House also signaled some frustration with Turner for going public with the warning ahead of a planned meeting national security officials were scheduled to have with top lawmakers on Thursday. National security advice. Now, here's my thing, right? I believe that Turner went public for this with this before scheduling the meeting with national security officials, because whatever this is that's going on, it must be something that makes the Republicans, the right wing, look right. And I think that Jim Turner probably went public with this because it's probably something that will end up making the Biden administration look bad. And he wants to make sure that the Biden administration controlled government that would be assessing this at these national security meetings doesn't classify it further to where it wouldn't be obvious that it's a Democrat issue. You know what I'm saying? But let me know if you guys think that, that's right or not. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here declaring this because I don't know. This is just speculation based on what I'm reading. You know what I'm saying? But let me know if that sounds logical or not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Facts. DeAndre said money for national security bill on the table yesterday. Cyber attack today. Carlton up here done spent all the money on OnlyFans simping instead of buying some roses and chocolates for his woman. So he's worried about the national security leak from his cell phone. You know what I'm saying? All kind of problems going on. It's hot out here, man. It's hot out here. You know what I'm saying? I reached out to see Turner, Sullivan said. Turner has gone out publicly. I'm going to go see Turner tomorrow. That's where I want to leave things for today. Sullivan declined to elaborate on the nature of the threat. I'm not in a position to say anything further from this podium at this time, he said. But remember, it's not that bad, allegedly. It's allegedly not that bad, but nobody's at liberty to say anything, and they can't provide any identification to the sources that they're using to cite in the news. While the Wednesday warning was vague, the United States has long been concerned about Russian military capabilities and the country's stabilizing influence in Europe and around the world as the war with Ukraine continues, with prospects of additional U.S. aid being sent to Kyiv being shaky. So now sometimes they tell on themselves. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they tell on themselves. You guys think that they just told on themselves? I think they might have just told on themselves. I think that this paragraph right here, for the most part, kind of gives us a lot of insight as to what the actual situation might be that's going on here. What do you guys think? Earlier Wednesday, Turner sent his congressional colleagues a letter saying the urgent matter is with regards to a destabilizing foreign military capability. A destabilizing foreign military capability. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What do you all think that a destabilizing foreign military capability could be? And they always point to Russia in regards to these type of situations, but Russia is not, our only political antagonist. It's a lot of countries that have big issues with the United States. Who are some other countries that might have an interest in developing some type of technology like this? Who are some other countries that might be interested in this type of thing? And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 65 people watching and we got 67 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 100, that'd be great. Turner said in the letter to his congressional colleagues that the House Intelligence Committee voted on February 13th to make certain information available for lawmakers to review, and says members have time to view this between Wednesday and Friday. Turner is also calling on President Joe Biden to declassify all information relating to this threat. Sullivan emphasized the Biden administration has gone further and in more creative ways, strategic ways, to deal with the declassification of intelligence in the national security interest of the United States than any administration in history. Would you guys agree with that? If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with that, give me a thumbs down. I don't think putting that disclaimer on anything is going to help Biden get any votes. I don't think anything is going to save his candidacy for 2024. I think his candidacy for 2024 has already met the Grim Reaper, and he's just in denial. Would you guys agree that the vultures are already circling the White House? The vultures are already circling the White House, waiting for Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? So there's a couple video clips, a couple interesting things that people put on Twitter. Let me see. Let me see here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like let me see something here. Okay. All right, never mind. Oh, okay, so check this out. Hold on. This Representative Mike Turner, he said that he led a bipartisan Kodel to Kyiv, where we met with President Zelensky and senior Ukrainian officials. And I reiterated America's commitment to support Ukraine in its fight against Russia. Now, this was tweeted here on February 9th. This was tweeted on February 9th. I'm going to show you guys this. Do you guys think that this could have anything to do with it? Look at that right there. I led a bipartisan Kodel to Kyiv, where we met with President Zelensky, U.S. Ambassador Bridget A. Beer, and senior Ukrainian officials. Representative French Hill, Representative Jason Crow, Representative Spanberger. So that's an interesting name, Spanberger. His name's Spanberger. Zach Nunn and I reiterated America's commitment to support Ukraine in its fight against Russia. So what do you guys think? Shout out to my man Kiko with the $2 super chat. Make sure you guys show Kiko some love. Throw some radiation emoji in the chat and some flames in the chat for him for supporting the channel, being a fourth stream sponsor. Definitely appreciate it, bro. Shout out to Rhonda Smith. What's good with it? What's good with it, Rhonda? We got up the way and down the way in the building. Shout out to up the way and down the way. You know what I'm saying? White House to brief lawmakers on serious national security threat. Now they're putting this in the headlines related to Russia. So I want you guys to pay very close attention because this is what YouTube does. YouTube will flag my video for misinformation and put some type of embedded message at the bottom of it. Now, mind you, I don't have access to any of these classified documents. I'm not going as far as to say that this White House threat is or this threat is coming from anywhere. Everything that I've said is speculatory in nature. NBC is declaring that it's related to Russia. You guys see that? If you guys see that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't see that, give me a thumbs up. NBC is declaring that the threat is related to Russia. White House brief lawmakers on serious national security threat related to Russia. Shout out to Rhonda. Rhonda says they're trying to get that foreign aid passed. That, to me, would seem like a logical hypothesis. If you guys agree that that's the logical hypothesis from Rhonda, give me a thumbs up in the chat. If you guys disagree, then give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you all being here. We got 73 people watching and we got 70 likes. We got to get them likes to 100. I know we can do it. I know y'all can do it. If y'all haven't shared the stream yet, make sure y'all share. If y'all haven't subscribed yet, make sure y'all subscribe. If y'all haven't hit the bell, hit that bell. If you're not subscribed to my backup channels or to @BaseReality2 on Twitter, make sure that y'all do that. All right. The chairman of the House Intelligence Committee warned of a serious threat without providing details ahead of a White House briefing on Thursday. 4 sources said it's related to Russian military capability. Now, we know that Russia has had some crazy military capabilities for a long time. How many people know what that Sarmat missile is? Do you guys know what the Sarmat is? If you know what the Sarmat is, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't know what the Sarmat is, give me a thumbs down. How many people know what the Sarmat is? Y'all know what the Sarmat is. If I'm not mistaken, somebody double check me if I'm wrong. The Sarmat is called the Satan II missile. And if I'm not mistaken, it's an intercontinental ballistic missile that has the capability to hit targets in the United States. It can also be detonated at high altitude to create electrical disturbances. And because our infrastructure is not up to date, those high altitude, quote unquote, electrical disturbances could really cause problems with infrastructure. There's also been a report that came out that shows that the United States cannot maintain a military war of attrition against China and Russia at the same time. Yeah, I think that Sarmat is hypersonic too. Yeah, shout out to DC Precise. It's been a minute since I researched any of that stuff. I'm just going off of memory here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we need to read this news article here, this NBC News article, because this NBC News article. Let's look at this real quick. Let's see what they.
I know the House Intel Committee.
Yeah, let's look at this. Let me see if they got any more little videos in here. But as far as this goes, we already watched that main video that they have up there. So we don't need to read a long rewriting of that video that we already watched. Let's check out this breakdown that they got and see what they're talking about here.
I know the House Intel Committee chairman is now warning of a, quote, serious national security threat. What should we know there?
Well, the latest reporting that we're getting on this, Sinclair, from a number of sources is that it is related to a Russian military capability. And that's basically the sum total of what we've been able to suss out in terms of our reporting on this issue. We do know that.
Now, I got a question for you guys. Do you all notice that it's like the Hill didn't say that? They didn't say any of this. And the thing is that how is it legitimate media to say that they have these sources and these sources will not identify themselves to be accountable for this information? I don't like when they have these quote unquote anonymous sources, because it makes it too easy for them to just back away from whatever information that they're talking about. They need to not have, they should not be allowed to put anonymous source information into the news. I don't understand how anybody can look at this Mayo Stream media nonsense as legitimate news media, legitimate information, and they do not state their sources. When you go to school or when you go to any type of, institution where you have to do research, you have to always cite your sources. They got MLA, APA formats of citing. So the Mayo Stream media literally goes off of a little birdie told me journalism. And it's looked at as normal. It's looked at as okay. People look at this like this is actual quality information. It's not. It's not quality information, and there's no integrity in it. And all this is a closed loop source of reiterating nonsense and not actually producing any data. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Mike Turner, the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, put out a statement that was very vague, just saying that he was concerned about this national security threat and that he wanted the Biden administration to declassify this information so that it could be shared with our allies. Of course, there are a number of conflicts all around the world. We know that issue between Russia and Ukraine is something that the Congress is directly connected to because there is that bipartisan supplemental package that passed the Senate and right now is stalled in the House. This could be a scenario where Turner is trying to get this information out to members of Congress as soon as possible, and it could in some way relate to the supplemental package. Of course, members of the House are expected to leave later this week. Members of the Senate.
You see that? Did you guys hear what he just said? Did you hear what he said right there?
To members of Congress as soon as possible, and it could in some way relate to the supplemental package.
Now, how would it relate to the supplemental package? So now, see, we're speculating now, right? But now, mind you, they said this on NBC just now. He's saying that it could possibly relate, right? Now, my question for you guys is, how could it possibly relate? What is it that he could be talking about?
This information out to members of Congress as soon as possible, and it could in some way relate to the supplemental package. Of course, members of the House are expected to leave later this week. Members of the Senate, as we've already talked about, won't be back until the end of February. Zinkley?
Still much more information to come on that, I'm sure. Ryan Nobles on Capitol Hill. Thank you.
All right, so there's that. All right, so now I don't know if this is related. I don't know if this is related or not. But I think that this is interesting. We're going to end it on this. All right? We're going to end it on this. I'm not even about to say anything. I'm going to let this video play, and I want to know what y'all think about this.
Brand new details about how Obama's CIA targeted Trump and started the entire Russia hoax. For years, we were told that tips from an Australian diplomat tipped off the FBI after a random conversation with Papadopoulos, a no-name 20-something. But according to new reporting by Michael Schellenberger and Matt Taibbi, the whole thing was a CIA setup. Former CIA Director John Brennan identified 26 Trump associates to be targeted by the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance.
Who knows what the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance is? Now, here goes my question. How many people knew about this? If you guys knew about this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys did not know about this, then give me a thumbs down. And we're going to definitely be following this too, because this is interesting.
Setup. Former CIA Director John Brennan identified 26 Trump associates to be targeted by the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance. And then those interactions were the targets and were targeted by the FBI as suspicious. And that's how the FBI launched the Russia collusion hoax. The details of this entire operation have been stored in a top secret binder in a secret room in Washington. Trump ordered the whole thing declassified. And now the rumor is that the binder might be missing.
Where the binder at? Hey, where's the binder at? Is it parked next to the Corvette? Where the binder at? What happened to it? The housekeeping take it? They hired an undocumented bro, undocumented sis. Maria got the binder. Who got the binder? let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that this might have anything to do with what they're talking about, with what they were talking about earlier, as far as these quote unquote national security risks? Do you think this is related at all? If you think that it's related at all, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't think that it's related at all, give me a thumbs down.
Joining me now, one of the reporters who broke the story, Michael Schellenberger. Michael, explain how this all started with the CIA picking these 26 Trump people.
Yeah, good to be with you, Jesse. Well, obviously, this is an extremely serious story and serious allegation by multiple credible sources that Public and Racket, that's Matt Taibbi's publication, have spoken to.
So now, again, who are these sources? Who are these people? Who are the sources? Name the sources. Who are these sources?
These are people that are close to the House intelligence investigation of how the Russia collusion hoax began. The story, as you mentioned, was that, oh, we were just informed by foreign intelligence about this. Our sources tell us a very different story, which is that this was initiated by the U.S. government. It came from within the U.S. government's intelligence community, including the CIA, that they asked the so-called Five Eyes nations intelligence agencies, that's the other English-speaking nations, including Britain and Australia, to spy on 26 Trump associates, or at least they had a list of the 26 associates that were identified. This is new information.
And shout out to you guys. I appreciate everybody who is in here. All right. We got, it looks like 82 people watching. Shout out to you guys. If you all are not part of the Discord, take a moment, hit the link that's pinned in the comment section, join the Discord. If you're part of the Discord gang, throw them Discord gang emojis into the chat. We got 80 live viewers and we got 84 likes. We can finish the stream out with our 100. If everybody takes a moment, smashes that like button, hits that bell, shares the stream. Shout out to the people watching on the replay. Make sure that y'all hashtag replay gang and timestamp what you comment. And shout out to everybody that does that. I appreciate y'all.
Some people have theorized about this and speculated about it. We feel very confident that our sources were in a position to know and are very credible in this report. And it's obviously a very serious allegation because this is illegal spying and it's illegal election interference.
Okay, so you're reporting that the CIA got these allies to bump these 26 Trump associates,
right?
Create,
and I gotta agree. Shout out to TMB. TMB says they stated that this list had 23 targets by the 5 stalkers, but no photos or recordings of this list. So this could be made up. And that's one of the reasons why anytime they say they have these sources or they have these anything, keywords that I worry about that make me think that the media is BSing are sources, anonymous sources, insiders, people close to. Anytime I hear that nonsense and all I see on the screen are just reporters, there's no name of these people, there's no signed statement, you know what I'm saying? There's nobody that's willing to put their identity or credibility on the line with showing this information. At that point, I don't trust what's being said at all. I don't trust what's being said. You know what I'm saying? Because why would you not put your name? Why would you not attach your name to information that you're giving to put the seal of credibility stamp on it? Why would you not do that? You know what I mean? Why would you not do that?
Interactions and then call these interactions suspicious and let the FBI know they were suspicious. And that starts the whole thing. What about this binder that encapsulates this whole thing and no one knows where it is right now, or Trump has it? What's that?
Well, Jesse, we'll have a piece tomorrow that is specifically about the binder, but as a friend of the show and of yours on this, I'll say that there has been widespread speculation that this binder was the reason or a reason for the FBI raid of Mar-a-Lago, and we'll be discussing that tomorrow. But obviously, if this binder contains what we have been told that it contains, which may include raw intelligence, information showing that the U.S. government, the CIA and the intelligence community of the U.S. government initiated the Russia collusion hoax, that it did not occur in the way that the official story, including the Durham investigation, had portrayed it, then that's extremely serious information. And
now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you all think that, now, here's the thing, right? This is why I'm asking this question. If this is the issue, this missing binder that they're talking about, do you think that this is why that representative might have decided to say it early, if that's the case? I think that this is probably related to it. They can't find a binder with classified documents. How do you lose a binder with classified documents? See, that's what happens when you have an old president like Joe Biden. He probably left it on a toilet somewhere after he was reading it, and then washed his hands and just left it in the bathroom some damn where. What do you guys think? Let me know what y'all think.
And maybe if the FBI then went to go get it in order to continue the cover-up of this information, that obviously adds an even more dramatic wrinkle to this. Again, we'll have more to say about it tomorrow, but this is a huge, huge story. I mean, I've been thinking about it in the history of the United States of America. Have we ever had something like this where the intelligence community was weaponized against a political candidate and using our foreign allies to do it? I can't think of a more important or dramatic story.
Yeah, and then going to great lengths by using FBI raids to cover it up.
And going through great lengths of involving other countries to interfere in our politics. Like, that's huge. That's actually the U.S. government bypassing the will of American citizens to literally attempt to interfere, if this is all true. And that's probably true. Shout out to Patrick. Patrick says Biden isn't giving anything. Yeah, he probably ain't. You know what I'm saying? He probably ain't. You know, it's other people that's pulling the strings and orchestrating behind the scenes.
That's just an absolute incredible development. Great reporting to you and to Matt, and we look forward to your report tomorrow. Thank you so much.
I can see that. Biden doesn't seem like a hand washer. Biden seems like one of them type of people that throw the toilet paper in the trash and then go right to shake your hand, and you'd be like, nah, bro, what's wrong? You don't want to shake my hand? Then he seemed like a finger smeller too. Like, after you deny him the handshake access, then he'll sniff his finger. It don't matter if you sniffed your finger or not with your nasty old ass. Go wash your damn hands. The hell is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my man DSB, tripling down on the super chats. 2 ducats, 2 ducats, and 3 ducats. Definitely appreciate it, bro. Shout out to Kiko for the 2 ducats. If I got a little bit of extra time, I'm going to try to bust out another stream. I might not be able to, so I'm probably going to have to do it in the morning. So y'all got plenty of time to check out some replays. Like I said, what day is it today? Well, yeah, I probably will not be able to get any more short form videos up for the rest of the week. I'm going to try to, but I might not be able to. But I'm definitely going to put some up next week. So make sure you guys check them out. All right. Make sure you guys are subbed up on the backup channels and my other social media. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up, look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all on tour, got demons. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me. And I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on money, that's on TV, that's on mamas. Niggas don't believe me, come and see me. I been dodging all that face. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Flexing for what feature, that's like every other week. Talk behind my back, I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him on God. Walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him on God. Walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up, look, walking this like, hey, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey, I'm really him. Hold up.